Well, hello dear Groaners. After a few power cuts and me being really tired, hello to all of you from around the world and happy 2024 to you. What have we got for you in this, the first episode of 2024? I still can't get used to writing that, let alone saying it. But anyway, we've got my groans, we've got the audience groan coming, we've got the usual games you know and love, we've got Zero of the Week coming, Admin Nicole's creepy story of the week coming to you as well, and the return of Unlucky as well, and also an announcement of something new that's happening during the course of the podcast. But let's get the episode commencing with my groans, and then we'll go from there. You fancy a pint of wine? Okay, I usually stick with my pint of ciders, or my pint of vodka Diet Coke, well, not pint of vodka Diet Coke, that would kill me, or a glass of vodka Diet Coke, or just soft drinks. But come on, the idea of having a pint of wine is both expensive and dangerous. I've no doubt it'll probably cost £20 to £30 per pint of wine. These wines can be stronger than some spirits, etc, etc. There are people out there who don't know when to stop drinking. Can you see what I'm getting at? It's better we don't start lining up patients suffering from liver damage or kidney issues due to the amount of wine pints they've drank. At least bottles can be shared amongst friends. Bad idea, government. Bad idea. Not giving away free games. Now, I'm on Epic Games, but I do use other platforms as well. Epic is a nice little platform in that its time is also giving away some sweet titles free gratis. You don't need to pay extra. You are literally given free games every week or every few weeks. But some platforms, like Steam, Good Old Games, etc, etc, don't give away free games no matter how long you've joined, or you've got to pay for a service, for example Xbox, to play a range of titles under the umbrella of free under this price. How about they all take a leaf out of Epic's book and give away a free game every week? It doesn't need to be a AA or AAA title game either, just a nice little game to give away, kind of like a thanks for sticking with us, or thanks for joining, kind of thing. And lastly, tornadoes. Okay, so the UK has recently been hammered with tornadoes. Not as bad as the USA, but if this isn't proof our climate is changing here in the UK, then I don't know what is. Perhaps the government need to think about alerts just like the USA has got. It's going to become a more regular thing as the UK faces more storms, and alerts and sirens could potentially save lives. That's my first groans of 2024 out the way now and they've been set free. But let's play a game with Gimme the question. You all know the score by now. Get the right question that matches the answer I give you. Round 1. Your answer is Backdraft. Your questions are: Option A, what film is about a destructive tornado? Option B, what film is about an explosion at a naval base that gets investigated? Or Option C, what film is about firemen hot on the trail of an arsonist? Go Groaners, playing along live, give me your answers. Those that aren't playing along live, take your time, answer when you're ready. What you got, Groaners? What you got? Going in for A. Okay. Any more? Nope. No more. I've got a small amount of audience listening to live, so no more answers there. Okay, moving on. Round number 2. Your answer is The Blair Witch Project. Your questions are: Option A, what is considered to be the scariest movie of all time? Option B, what is the cheapest movie with the biggest box office return? Or Option C, what movie was based on a supposed true story? Again, Groaners, come on now, give me them. You play on after the fact, pause, answer, unpause. What you got, Groaners? What you got? Ooh, one's undecided. B or C? I'm sorry, Groan, I'm going to have to push you. Do you want your B or do you want your C? Okay, you're gone for C. Okay. Alright, any more? Nope, that's it there. Moving on. Last round, round number 3. Your answer is the Deadpool. Not Deadpool, the Deadpool. Your questions are: option A. What Dirty Harry film received a public outcry for its graphic violence? Option B. What Dirty Harry film stars Jim Carrey as a cop in an early role alongside Clint Eastwood? And option C. What film is the last one in the Dirty Harry series? Fire them off now, Groaners. I'm ready for you. What you got? Gone straight in for C there. Okay. Right, all in. Remember, pause, answer, unpause, those playing along after the fact. Right, okay. We will come back for the answers to Gimme the question later on. But for now, we're going to let Creepy shine with Admin Nicole's Creepy Corner. And this week's story is called Family Reunion. The streets were lined with zombies and the overwhelming smell of peppermint. The old man stood at the corner watching with shock and joy as he waited for the rats to show up. Everyone knew what to do by now and went home, all except for 2 people, a baker and a dentist. 10 years ago, the old man promised a young boy to grant his wish. Not long after the old man got home that night, he broke into Lionel's parents' stores and stole their secret ingredients. He tried to take a shortcut through the cemetery, but slipped and both files got poured all over the ground, which absorbed quickly into the soil. He chose to take it as a sign, and for the next 10 years, nothing happened. Now that wish has finally been granted. Coco was finally able to get out the shop with Viola and Valencia following behind. The zombies were everywhere, looking as confused as ever before. They weren't after brains though, they were after the antique shop. The old man wasn't going to let that happen though. These zombies barely even resemble humans anymore. Whatever was in those vials changed them. They smelled sweet, almost sickeningly slow. And with that smell of mint and those perfectly white teeth, the old man knew he was going to have to fight, which was a shame, but needs must, and all that. The baker ran into a store and bought all kinds of weapons from swords to axes, all made of sweets. An axe with a candy cane handle and a chocolate blade sharp enough to slice through anything. This is why she wasn't well liked in town. She chose her specialty to be edible weaponry and armour, so she doesn't get a lot of business. Valencia, out of pure curiosity, took one of the axes and grabbed the sticky handle as she ran to one of the zombies, and off went its head. The head rolled and groaned and rolled and groaned on the hard ground, and Valencia was covered in a sticky red substance. Her curiosity hit again, and she had to taste it. It was strawberry jam. Those vials essentially turned these zombies into undead sweets. The irony that candy was rotting everything but their teeth was not lost on anyone. Just then, a horde of rats came swarming from the sewers, and behind them came their leader, the sewer lord himself, as he came face to face with his parents once more. It was a shock for all of them, his new appearance, and not to mention him living in the sewers. His parents didn't know what to think of it, but they were glad he was alive, and that's all that mattered. Once this mess was over, the sewer lord, the baker and the dentist would have much to talk about, but for now, something was greatly wrong. The old man crashed to the ground in agony from a piercing scream only he could hear. Too much chaos. There was just too much chaos. The thing in the hole was waking up. The zombies had to go. Valencia wanted to fight them longer, but she had never seen the old man like this. His eyes were full of true fear. She remembered what Viola taught her once, and attacked all the zombies as fast as she could, trying to knock out all the teeth from all of them. The Tooth Fairy is more powerful than anyone will ever know, she said to herself. As she raised those teeth in the air and focused all her powers, she would summon the soul copy from them and send them on their way. Even the one whose head she chopped off just picked it up, and off they went into the distance. She had no idea where she sent them, and was upset by how anticlimactic and easy that fight was. But as she looked over at the old man, she saw him mutter, "It's over," under his breath before he collapsed. "Seems I came at a bad time," came a voice approaching from the distance. It was a small rag doll carrying a pair of scissors on her back and a child walking behind her. Lila was almost 7 now, and Rosa often took walks at night. On this particular night, they were headed to the old man. He gifted Rosa those scissors when they met up by the lake one night. The old man wasn't a monster or in the business of creating monsters. All he ever wanted was to help those who couldn't help themselves and punish those that deserved it. Rosa wanted to protect her sister, so he gave her a way to do so, but on occasion she needed those scissors sharpened, so she went to him. The old man was unconscious, but the shop had stopped shaking. The danger was over for now, but how long would that last? Nicole, once again, has done it again with a fabulous story. There'll be more to come next week. Again, this universe she creates is just amazing. I don't know if I read it the right way, but it's just wow. I don't know where she gets all these ideas from. But now, we're moving on to Oh Unlucky. And this is about Denny's food chain, and it's a little bit sad. For some reason, this food chain in America has suffered some tragic events in recent years. If I've looked up correctly, sadly, there have been 3 people that have been killed by falling Denny's signs, and that's not a very nice way to go. This is both highly unlucky for the people, may they rest in peace, but also very unlucky for the image of Denny's. I won't name those who passed out of respect, but Denny's, for God's sake, fix your signs. And now we move from unlucky to giving one of you your chance to groan. Yep, it's that time again, it's audience groan time. Today's groan arrived in via email from Jay from Edinburgh, and he has stated, skateboarders using cycle lanes all over the UK. You're a pain in the backside. Worse than cyclists. How about you just walk instead of being a hazard? Cracking and to the point groan there, Jay. Very well done. If you'd like to send us your feedback, your groans, your Oh Unluckies, or your Hero or Zero of the Week nominations, you can do so on the following. Drop an email off to the groanzonepod@gmail.com like Jay did. You can find us on Facebook groups at the Groan Zone Podcast. You can drop me a personal message to Mystery Groaner on Facebook Messenger. And, of course, you can also go on Discord, as lots of you do, and find us under the Groan Zone Podcast. There'll be more from the audience next week, because I'm sure there's more groans being sent in. And now, it's time for the last game of the episode. Yes or BS returns again. Straight, we're going in. Round 1. The solo set Chaplin round. Option A. Charlie Chaplin lost in a Charlie Chaplin lookalike competition. Option B. Harrison Ford was discovered for the role of Han Solo whilst doing carpentry work on the actual set of Star Wars, that is. And option C. There never was an on-set death during filming of both the 1925 and 1959 versions of Ben-Hur. Go Groaners. Don't get blanked though. Okay. Gone for C. If you're playing after the recording, press pause, have a think, answer unpause. Right, we're done there. We're going right into round 2. We're going quick fire. The Sand Penguin Tongue round. That sounds like an end of game boss for a weird game. Option A. Ostriches bury their heads in the sand when they are scared or feel threatened. Option B. Penguins do not fall backwards when looking at planes flying overhead. And option C. Giraffes clean their ears and eyes with their tongues. Go Groaners. Answers now. Play along after the fact. You pause, you answer unpause. Oh, again. C's fired off there. Okay. Right. Okay. Last round. Round 3. The Moon Astronauts Days round. Option A. Whilst the lunar lander that took the astronauts to the moon was called Eagle, the command module was called Goose. Option B. The astronauts were quarantined for 52 days when they returned to Earth. And option C. The area where the lunar lander landed, that's a tongue twister, was called the Sea of Tranquility. Go Groaners. Answers please. Playing along after the fact, you pause, you answer unpause. Okay, gone for C again. Okay. We will find out later on who scored what. after 0 of the week. Speaking of which, here it is. So this utter tool bag in Sunderland, in the northeastern part of the UK, thought it would be a fantastic idea to launch a firework from his mouth whilst holding a drink in a daft New Year's Eve stunt. Now, we didn't get injured, luckily, but the fact that fireworks are dangerous is the perfect reason why this low IQ puppet brain fool is the right choice for 0 of the week. What an utter chump. 0 of the week material for bloomin' sure. Now we've got game answers, Groaners. Let's find out what points you got. We're going to go with yes or BS first. If you went for option A on round 1, Charlie Chaplin lost in a Charlie Chaplin lookalike competition, it's false. There's no evidence he ever took place in one. If you went for option B, Harrison Ford was discovered for the role of Han Solo whilst doing carpentry work on the actual set, that's actually false. He had to go through screen tests, but he never did any carpentry work on set, even though he was a skilled carpenter. And option C, if you went for this one, there have never been any on-set deaths during the filming of both 1925 and 1959 Ben-Hur. You're correct, although there were a few narrow brushes with death, narrow escapes there. Round 2, the sand penguin tongue round. If you went for option A, ostriches bury their heads in the sand when scared or threatened, that's actually false, it's a pure myth. Although they bury their eggs and dip their beaks in to turn the eggs. That's why their heads are in the sand. It's not because they're scared. Option B. If you're in for this one, penguins don't fall backwards when looking at planes flying overhead. It's actually true. They have excellent footing, although low-flying planes can cause the penguins to panic as well as flee their nests, which can be dangerous. And of course, last one, option C. Giraffes do clean their ears and eyes with their tongue. Of course, they have one of the longest animal tongues in existence. And last round, the Moon Astronaut Days round. If you went for option A, whilst the lunar lander that took astronauts to the moon was called Eagle, the command module was called Goose. Rubbish, I made it up completely. It was actually called Columbia. If you went for option B, the astronauts quarantined for 52 days, it's actually wrong. Almost half that, 21 days. And if you went for option C, they landed on the Sea of Tranquility on the moon, that's true. Any points there? Well done. If you got blanked, I'm really sorry, but yes or BS will return in a couple of weeks. Now we go on to Give me the question answers. Round 1, your answer was Backdraft. Your correct question, of course, was option C. What film is about firemen hot on the trail of an arsonist? The film starred Kurt Russell as one of the 2 firefighting brothers. Round 2, your answer was The Blair Witch Project. Your correct question was B. What is the cheapest movie with the biggest box office return? It had a 60 grand budget, that's $60,000, and it returned close to 250 million worldwide. And last round, your answer was The Deadpool. Your correct question was option C. What film is the last one in the Dirty Harry series or franchise? But Jim Carrey did star in that film, but he didn't play a cop, he played a victim. If you got points in any of those 2 games, fabulous. If you didn't, unlucky, but you have more chances next week with different games. We also now have a new after show game that everyone can play. You can play it via Discord, you can play it via Facebook, or by looking in the show notes if you open up the episode on Podbean or whatever you listen on. And the game is called What the Hell Am I For? Or What the Hell Am I? And what it will be, it's where I upload an image of something. It could be a gadget, it could be a tool, it could be a place, it could be anything. And you have to name on any one of those platforms. You can send in your comments on Podbean or Spotify or wherever, or comment on Facebook or Discord. Hell, you can even email in with your answers. And then I'll tell you or Admin Nicole will tell you before her game the following week, stating what the answer was before she gives off her anagram for anagram anxiety, because we're going to do this on a week on week off basis. But on that note, we will see you next week. Don't forget, look in the show notes for this week's first picture for What the Hell Am I For. See you next week. Keep on growing and groaners. Bye bye.